Soul Garden.
Hello, Your Majesty, and welcome back to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Edition. I'm your host to the universe, Christopher Witecki. And this week, your free horoscope is sponsored by Soulmart.me, where we have 2012 Act 2 videos now available for immediate download, may I say. And this is a time to get deep on April, May, and June. I'm going to give you the arcs and all the planets. I don't know if you saw Act 1, but these are good. And now the Act 2s are even better because I put some graphics in and learned some things to make it easier to play back, things like that. You'll see. Or if you have a rising of Leo, go buy one of those and you'll watch today. You can watch it today. Now also, come on down to the garden, soulgarden.me, where we have a lion's den of love and support for the Leos to shine bright. Right now we're talking about this month and belief structure and the Leos living in their heart and how to live in their heart. We have fabulous Leo staff. In fact, I have to say I'm a little partial maybe to the Leo staff just because I have so much Leo in me, and I will be peeking around the corner too. So if you don't have a little throne in our garden, come on down and get one. Now, it's all about beliefs this month with the Leos, the royalty. And you are stepping into maybe a new life's purpose, new meaning, big things, where as before your life's purpose was this, and now maybe your life's purpose is that. Part of this trend's in the early stages with the sun up Uranus, right? And taking off the old reason to be alive. Since then, you've been working on the new reason to be alive. And on Monday, there might be a breakdown. Something breaks down. Now, this could break down in a lot of areas of life. You're doing belief structure work. So if anything breaks down, it might come down to your beliefs. Anything, technology. If you have cars break down, if you have travel plans break down in particular, if you have education plans break down where you're going to go and learn something and then the class gets canceled. All of these kind of count in this weird spectrum of the sun in Aries, but look for the common theme or clues as to the core belief that it's maybe highlighting. That's the whole point, is to see where it's highlighting. Now, you're feeling pretty strong despite Uranus ruling the day because the moon is in Leo, so your emotions and strength will carry you as things kind of break down on this particular day. Now then, moving to Tuesday, it's Mercury ruled day, so it's a breakthrough day. You'll understand why yesterday things broke down. You'll understand where to go next, and you'll have one more break for life's purpose and meaning, which is what you're working up to this particular month. Mercury is also calling for you to rethink trust and boundaries with yourself. That's what the Mercury retrograde is calling to. That was last month's topic, but it doesn't go away. In fact, it's still a big, hot theme in the Leo tribe, and in this particular day, I think you're processing some of that as well. The moon moves out of your sign and into Virgo. Might be a morning or issue of soul capital, self-confidence, or a money crisis as the moon hops over Mars in the first part of the day. And this will be something we're working on. Remember, you're still reconsidering how you get money, where you manifest money, and whatnot with Mars retrograde for a couple weeks. We talk about that in the Act 2s in 2012. But Tuesday is really a day of clarity. Now, don't forget, we have our Soulmart office hours on Tuesday, our free 15-minute readings to the public with our Soulmart practitioners. Come on down. If you got a webcam, hop on, talk to us. There's a chat room. We really hang out. We start talking about problems and solutions, and it's totally new age and cutting. No one's doing this anywhere, so come on down and hang out with us if you would like. Now, Wednesday, things kind of start to go back to normal, or we start to feel normal. A couple of reasons for that. Venus rules the day. Venus always wants to restore things back to balance. Justice is served, balance is restored when Venus rules the day. The moon is off Mars. That's helpful. So emotionally, you are starting to really feel your value. Maybe you're feeling more productive than you did the day before. Mercury is direct. I think that's the biggest reason we're starting to wake up, and you start to feel the shift of the inside and outside voice returning to their normal position. Of course, you're wanting to restore balance and order to your beliefs. And maybe you're having a hard time believing in yourself with what has broken down, but you restored that order. Now these red lines actually highlight fears that you'll be breaking off your soul Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, basically through the full moon. We'll talk about that in a minute. On the one hand, boundaries. By changing boundaries, that means you are a virgin again in some regards. You are starting over with boundaries in some regards, and there's fear between the starting over and Venus moving into Gemini, which is, what does starting over mean for my power and reputation in society? What does starting over mean in that regard? Secondly, Mars, retrograde in Virgo, is also working out fear. So with what I want to do in society, can I afford it? Will I manifest it? Will I be able to get the resources and support from the universe of what I want to do in society? So you start working on this on Wednesday. Then moving to Thursday, it's a Neptune day. We log into our higher self, we become intuitive, and we basically start to resolve some of these problems from the God's eye perspective, if you can do it correct, right? You might resolve this fear between getting in new water and a new place in the world, or a new role in the world, or this exploration. This can be a big theme, Venus and Gemini. I talk about it in Act 2. It retrogrades for a while, which doesn't very often, so that's a big deal too. And also, I think on this particular day, it's a good day to ask your higher self about beliefs, where you went wrong, where the next clue is, anything that will help you along finding that life's purpose and meaning. This is where you kind of want to, the walking stick to the water and figure that out. The moon moves into Libra and begins to go full. This full moon is about you and your head games. Okay, so you'll be uber, super duper triggered by head games, and this begins to start on Thursday. All right, so just telling you. Now, for those of you who are watched over by the Guardian Agency, I will be sending out a new feature here in GA, which I call Past Life with Texts. And these are basically little clues as to where you might have come from or reincarnated from, setting up your karma in this life. So tell me what you think of it. Those go live on Thursday. Should be entertaining, fun. Then we go to Friday, and it's not just a Friday, it's a full moon Friday. Big full moon in Libra. This is emotion meets your mind. So your intellect gets a emotional beating, right? And you've been working on clearing your thoughts out for a long time. I got to say, the biggest issue Leo clients have is their mind has gotten in the way of their heart. And that is what's ruined everything, usually, in most of my clients. So getting on top of your mind is what 2012 is about. You graduated this fall. I talked about that in Act 2. And this full moon is you probably tripping over a lot of emotion. Emotion plus mind equals attitude. Could be attitude problem if it's not in a constructive way. So potential attitude problem, potential arguments with others, potential emotion meets the mind. What is it really about? What you believe. It's about what you believe. It's about changing what you believe. And it's about focusing on what you don't believe with a Saturn ruled day. So although you get tempted, it's really about this. And if you're still holding on to old scripts on this day, if you find yourself saying stuff you've said 1,000 times, you find yourself speaking your mother's voice or your father's voice out loud, get rid of that. That's what full moons are about. Dump it. That emotional baggage will get you nowhere, and Saturn is not going anywhere. It's going to retrograde. You've got to finish this up by the fall, so pay attention to what happens on Friday. Now, don't forget, on Fridays we have SG Live with Carolyn Nagel and myself. This is our webcam radio show. Goes live at 11 a.m. We're very funny. Right now we have Zodiac Director Bernadette Morgan as our guest. She's giving us all the secrets to Aries and power. So if you want those secrets, come on down to our chat room. If you can't make it, don't forget we do record it so you can watch later over the weekend. And speaking of the weekend, it's a pretty vibrationally chill weekend. Saturday probably has the biggest spike of energy. It's ruled by Mars, so Saturday is kind of a get up and move. So it's about you following what you preach, practicing what you preach, putting your money where your mouth is. I mean, you've been working on life's purpose and meaning. Well, Saturday asks, okay, prove it, do something. Right? So that's about getting the water stirring and moving forward. The moon finishes full in Libra and then shifts into Scorpio. So by Saturday, it's nest, it's rest, it's family. Classic Leo, right? Or classic energy of home nesting on a holiday, right? But you do return to Saturday, Sunday in that nest and rest, and you're holding space. Now, this is what I was talking about. The sun starts to oppose Saturn and stays in a Saturn opposition for a good 10 days, which means although you got stirred emotionally with head games and stuff like that, you have to clean up and follow through coordinating your new beliefs with your head games, with your new beliefs with your head games for the next 10 days. So it's rocky roads for intellectual turbulence next week. We'll talk about that when I come back. All right, Your Royal Majesty, that's all I have for this 7-day forecast, but I will see you again in 7 more. Until then, live, love, be.